Hi, Harley again with another Star Trek Fleet Command video looking at the Vidar and the Borg. This was a question actually asked by a member of my Discord called Planet Hell, very nice name, and basically they asked the situation of what's the best use of it. Now I can only give you some tips, but my actual Vidar is maxed at level 45, and I use 7 of 10 as captain using his double shot chance with two other officers to help with max synergy, and that is actually 5 of 10, the Borg jailer, because I've got it unlocked, allowing for more loot. I've also got the loot research up, which is good. And his officer ability from 7 of 10 is the health of the ship, so adding for the extra ability, and 9 of 10 defense for the mitigation, helping there as well. So that is one combination which we can use. Like I say, with 31s, I can get a full cargo, which is very good. Some people will say other combinations for 33s or whatever. We'll look at them as we go along. As you see, one complete round, all done, very little hull damage taken. So yeah, I can last and go quite well and get to go home with a full cargo nicely without even blowing up on it. Now, once you've got all this inert nanoprobe stuff home, what do you do with it? You basically have to go to the refinery. Now, in the refinery, we got two possibilities of changing into charged or active nanoprobes. They have different uses, and since the TOS arc, there has been a added research which helps you all with your credits and faction rep to boost that. So that's a very good thing for going forward, especially with indie credits, faction credits, and rep to actually boost all the ships, and for the Borg and independent officers, augmented officers, and outlaws. So yeah, that is a quite a good thing to get. Now, there are occasionally flying around Ferengi assimilated traders, which then drop, or have, if you destroy them, then a special LAT key, which you can also then use in the refinery. Now, the refinery has been also updated since the TOS arc, so there are more than what there was. So initially it was just access to a special closed latinum system, which you could then refine, as you see here, to go in and then quickly get a cargo full of raw latinum to refine, which back then was helping a lot. Now the Devore has had some research buffs, so that maybe is not so good, but what is interesting now is actually the second type of key. But as a whole, you can still go in these systems and get them. So there are three types. There are a uncommon, a rare, and an epic. So tier 1 to 3 is the uncommon, tier 4 to 6 is the rare system here, and 7 to 9 is then the epic system with different strength, obviously, hostiles in them. Now I haven't been in the other two. When this unlocked, I actually got, and first time to go into the tier 7 Vidar, so I went into the epic. But yeah, so go in there, get a full cargo, refine latinum, all good. But okay, here's the raw latinum there. So it's quite easy. 5 minutes flying around. You can mine it. Don't. It takes too long. Is now here 3 systems of where you can go to these special lucrative nodes. They're 1 million grade 3 nodes running 5 times as fast. So you see here my patrol showing 109,000 mining speed, to which you can then go and get either gas, crystal, or ore, as you wish, to boost up your stock. Now, obviously, you're going to go over cargo quite quickly and got to be watchful, but you can only get into the system with these special keys, as you see in my inventory here. I haven't been in ages. I've got a few. So yeah, these lucrative 3-star mining transport cells. So this is where you can go and get that, which is also a nice help for the game. Now, the inert, like I said, you can either refine into active or charged. And the active nanoprobes, as well as the independent credits, go to upgrade the Borg officers that we've got in game. Now, they are a lot stronger, but they also need a lot of material, active nanoprobes, and independent credits, so 2. So they are a lot more, but they are actually worth it because they are a lot better on their stats, even more than the augmented. And I'll show you that exactly how afterwards. But with 3 epics, 2 rares in 7, that's quite a lot to get, to be honest. So anyway, here, I'll just show you an example. Same level officer, but 3 different strengths. Now we have Keenzer, standard officer, just under 1,300. Rimmer, he's augmented, he's now 1,700. And 7 of 10, he's Borg, augmented, he's 2,000. So you already see that these stats all over are a lot higher, and so actually upgrading them helps with the ship stats as a total, which is not a bad thing. So looking at crews for Borgs to get the actual thing, I actually use 7 of 10, but you can actually use 8 and 9 of 10 if you haven't got Jailer Borg 5 of 10 unlocked, in which case if you can, then swap her out for 8 of 10, which would be good. And that will help you obviously get on, like I do, quite well with a maxed Vidar. Or you can obviously use a standard hostile setup, which is obviously Pike, Moreau, and Chen. But you can also use Tilan on one type of Borg hostile, and I'll show you why in a minute with a firing pattern, because it's very important to understand this, where Tilan would actually be your officer of choice in this setup, like you do with the Swarm, although it's a battleship. Be very careful. So anyway, 25, 31, 33, they're all got the same firing pattern. You see you got this second energy, first kinetic, second energy in the first round, and you've got this, but there is one set that doesn't have a special set of shots. Now, that's why you actually use Chen, because most of the time you're running 2-3 rounds, always hitting those energy shots, and that would be good. But the 29s, as you look here, the bottom row of energy is completely gone until round 10. So you only take one kinetic shot, which Tilan will help with, and hopefully within the first 3 rounds, you would have actually cleared a level 29 Borg. Around about tier 7 Vidar would be good for that. You can do all the double shot if you wish to try 7 of 10. So now, obviously, there's a thing. We've got these Borg Armadas or Borg Armadas or boring Armadas, which back at the end of the Borg arc were basically, not good. Didn't go off well, was the back end of it, but yeah. So we would actually then have to go over to this huge mega cube, supersize, and destroy these stupidly hard Armada targets, which basically never got beaten, or very hardly got beaten, by maybe 1 or 2 that were lucky enough to chip away with it if someone actually bought packs to go and spend a decent size on their Vidar. But now most people in most games got a decent level from the first arc, decent level Vidar. Now I would possibly look at using then 7 of 10 with 6 of 10 with his officer ability, which would be good for 8 shot, and 8 of 10 for the synergy, looking to boost that, as that would be a possible situation. Now, there are obviously other combinations with the extended shields with Kirk, Spock, and Bones, but the one version I would actually look at as well is with Leslie as captain, because he, as captain ability, boosts back up the hull. And obviously with morale, with Spock getting the shields up, you can obviously use either Kirk, the original, or the TOS Kirk, which would be very good. So all in all, once you've done all that, you can obviously use your charged nanoprobes to your ship, or get credits or faction rep, which is also very good. So this is where you'd actually spend it all in the end, and whatever you win from the Borg Armadas, if we ever see them, which, I don't know, would be good. Would be good. Maybe see how good our Vidars are now. Anyway, the Vidar itself, though, is quite costly in charged nanoprobes. They take a while to get. Now, looking at these numbers, at 1.2 million charged nanoprobes, which is obviously quite a lot, which takes a bit of time, admittedly. But tier 1 to 7 is already cleared with 260, so about a quarter, just over. Now tier 8 is basically another quarter roughly on its own, or just over half, but then the rest of it in tier 9 the 600 or just over. Now half there, so that's that. All in all, not bad. Good ship. Hope you're all good. Keep well, keep safe, and I'll see you in the next one.